Customer states, my truck has become a money pit. I took it in for an oil leak repair, and now it's having a hard time starting and my check engine light is on. You see, they already replaced my crank sensor, but it's still doing the same thing. Help!
Come over here. Let me show you what I found wrong with this truck. Got the J-Pro scan tool fired up and ready to go. Did a full vehicle scan. There we can see in the engine computer, fault code we're dealing with. Crank position sensor fault. Looking at J-Pro's fault guidance, this fault code occurs whenever the ECM detects that there's a problem with the engine speed signal. I've got the engine data pulled up for the cam and crank sensors. Let's crank on it. Alright, the engine did have an extended crank, but then started. While it's idling, there we can see the engine speed backup sensor, which is the cam sensor, is reading okay. The crank sensor shows that it has a valid signal, so it's reading, but it has no synchronization. Going back to J-Pro's fault guidance, there we can see the component description. Speaking of the crank sensor, it says that the ECM uses a missing tooth on the crankshaft gear to determine engine position. Okay, now let me show you what the problem was. Here's the crank position sensor, and here's the crank speed ring, or the crank reluctor wheel. And you see the problem? Yes, sir, several of the teeth are damaged. This will definitely cause an interference in the crank signal. Well, how did that problem happen in the first place? Well, this truck was in for an oil leak. Looks like they replaced the front crank seal, and they pried on the crank reluctor wheel to remove the crank pulley. But anyways, let's get it repaired. Got a good used one, got it installed. Now let's go retest. Yes, sir, much better. No more extended crank. There we can see, crank and the cam sensors are reading correctly. That's gonna be it for this one. If you're not already doing so, be sure you like and follow me for more tips.